Hi first graders, this is Mrs. Singley. We're going to learn how to write a friendly letter. And so we're going to talk about the different parts of the letter. And then I have an organizer for you to fill out. You can do that on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And then Thursday will be your final copy. Okay, so let's look at the parts of the letter here. Right here is the date. Okay, so the date is the day the letter is written. And the date is always going to go in the right hand corner. This is the right corner. The next part I see is it tells a greeting. Who are we making our letter to? It says, Dear Bill, and it has a comma. We call that the greeting. It's addressing the person to whom the letter was written, and it was written to Bill. Next, we call this the body. The body is the message you're sending. So let's read what this says. Come to my house next Saturday. We can play outside, go fishing in the pond, and ride our skateboards. My mom might even let us play in the sprinkler. So that's the body, the middle part. And then we have a closing, a way to say goodbye. And there are many ways to say goodbye. Let's see what this one says. Your cousin. You could say your friend. You could say from. You could say love. You could say fondly. And then the last part is your signature. It's the name of the person who wrote the letter. So in this letter, Jeff wrote the letter. So you sign your name. Okay, let's go to our next page. This is your organizer, where you're going to put all your thoughts down about what to include in your letter. So the first part here says, I would like to write a letter to. So you're going to think of two people you'd like to write a letter to. I could start my letter with a greeting like, usually we start with dear. How about a question I could ask about? So these will be two questions you could ask. What could you tell them about? Think of at least 2 or 3 ideas for what you can tell them. And then how could you close your letter? And we already shared some ideas for this. So now I'm going to fill in the 2 boxes and I'll share my ideas. Here are the 2 people I thought about. I could write a letter to my dad. I could write to my friend Sandy. And the way I would start is Dear Dad, comma, Dear Sandy, comma. Okay, pause the video, fill out the next box. Ask 2 questions. The next box, you should have asked 2 questions. My 2 questions are, how are you feeling? Don't forget a question mark. And the second question is, what has been your favorite food to eat lately? And another question mark. Okay, next box. You're going to tell about something that's happening with you. You can fill in all of them, but I expect to see at least 2 or 3. Those of you who are really good at writing could fill them all in. Your turn. Okay, here's the next box. It says, I have been doing puzzles. It's been very hot at my house. My dog is so glad I'm home all the time. My favorite food lately are potatoes. I can't wait to see you. Last part. You're going to choose 2 closings for your letter. Your turn. Here are my two choices for a closing. I have from, comma, your friend, comma. You will sign your name on the actual letter. Your turn. Okay, here is my letter taken from my organizer, and this is due on Thursday. So up in the right corner you put the date. I put April 27th, 2020. That's when I wrote my letter. The greeting is to Dear Sandy, comma. Now the paper I sent to your mom and dad has a nice indent. But if you're not using this paper, make sure you use a 2-finger space to indent. And my letter says, how are you feeling? Question mark. I have been doing puzzles. It has been hot at my house. My dog has been so glad I'm home all the time. My favorite food lately has been potatoes. What has been your favorite food? I can't wait to see you. And then here's my closing. Your friend, comma, Mrs. Singley. Okay, it's your turn to do your final copy. Remember, you're looking at this. Pick one person, and then you're only picking one greeting. I happen to use both of these, but you might have noticed I put the second question after I said what my favorite food was. Now, if you filled all of this in, you can choose to write 2 or 3 sentences or all of them. I used all of mine. And then you're choosing one of these greetings. I can't wait to see your letter. Your turn. Finally, I challenge you to actually mail your letter to whoever you wrote to. I'm sure they will be thrilled to get some actual mail from you.